see myself right away as I want to prophesy. Lord took me by the eagle's wing, and I see myself fly from here right there to Western Europe, near the eastern part of Europe, to go and see what's called a place called Finland, right there in European nation. And as I see myself right there, and the Lord said, the people of Biafra is about to take their destiny into their hands. And what is about to happen that I'm seeing in the realm of the Spirit, don't forget that major prophet of God has always prophesied these things from time immemorial. When I start to give the prophecy, a lot of people will doubt, a lot of people will say it's not possible, a lot of people will say, oh, this, that. I am not a prophet who comes to fight anybody. No matter what we say, you are entitled to your opinion, and everybody has what's called freedom of speech. So whatever you say, provided your word is not inciting violence or causing one problem or the other, you are free to air your opinion and not to talk about when it comes to things of the spirit, to be able to visualize from the spirit realm and begin to prophesy things that are spiritual, bringing them to the physical realm so that everybody can hear the voice of the spirit, hear what the Lord is about to say, hear it live, because this is what is going to now begin to happen very, very soon. Because as I'm looking at myself right now in the realm of the physical, the Lord took me and the Lord caused me to enter spiritually, and I see myself fly straight away. Major prophet of God finally storm Finland. Major prophet of God finally storm Finland, to be live and direct there, to visualize things spiritually and know everything that is right there in Finland there to begin to happen regarding the people of Biafra. Because this is why what I'm beginning to see a few days ago, where I see what's called radio stations, TV stations, social medias, and different bloggers, and different newsworks, and different news networks, and people from different places. When I see them from different countries, from different places, coming to now look at an event that is going to unfold, and begin to look at it, I prophesied to them some days ago. But right now, the Lord has taken the major prophet of God to finally disappear and appear right there in Finland to witness things by myself. And the Lord began to speak to major prophet of God that what is about to happen is called the people of Biafra finally take their destiny into their hands. And after this, I begin to see what's called, this was called in the realm of the physical, this was called government versus government. This is what's called the people of a country versus another people of a country in one country, discussing the best way forward of what's called a amicable way of withdrawals of troops right there in the southeast, right there in the Biafran region of this country. And I began to ask myself, I said, major prophet of God, you are here to look at the future. And the Lord said, I am seeing in the realm of the physical what is called the introduction of full force use of what's called Biafran currency to start to be used in full force. And this was called from the month of, this was called ending of December, January, February, March, April, from now, within now and 2025. And I begin to see what's called, people now begin to use what's called tenable, this was called tenable currency, and it's written right there, Biafran currency. I don't know why. Because when major prophet of God begin to look at the spiritual world, many people will not be happy. They will be angry, but I am doing the work of God. Because the word of God is that the work of God says that surely the Lord God will do nothing on the face of the earth until he first of all has revealed what is about to happen to his servant, the major prophet of God, to oversee and visualize and begin to prophesy them the way they are written spiritually to manifest in the realm of the physical. And I begin to ask myself, I say, what's the meaning of this? Because I'm seeing what's called, this was called withdrawal of truths, and what's called a boundary, and this was called cutting out of boundaries, and this was called United Nations, and people delegate from different countries of the world to come and visualize and also to come and be part of this thing that is about to happen, that's going to unfold. And I begin to ask myself, what's going to happen to the people of Odudua and the Arewa and the other places in the country? And the Lord said, this is a step that begins to emancipate everybody. Because this was called the freedom of one, freedom of all. freedom of one, freedom of all. I begin to look at the spiritual world because I am a prophet that always want to know the secret things that are there so that I can prophesy in the realm of the physical. And the Lord said this was called a government versus government on the face of the country, Nigeria. Then I begin to look at the spiritual world, to look at the people that are already in the seat of power right there, called the governors, senators, House of Reps, this and that, and the people in different categories, and what's going to become of these people. And the Lord said, these people are going to quietly surrender to this matter, because this is what is already spiritually written there, because the people of the country, of the people of Biafra, has decided to take their destiny into their hands. And before you know it, more appointments are given right there. Different people with different appointment. I begin to ask myself, how these people merit this appointment and different appointment given to different people. And I see what's called, this was called, in the realm of the spirit, what's called contractors from the foreign countries. And I'm seeing what's called the best of the Germans, the best of the Europeans, the best of the Americans, the best of the Asians, and the best of different tribes and different continents and different states and different countries coming to now give their best, because this was called a tenable agreement and treaties and different things. And United Nations now voted a seat, and the seat in the United Nations, a seat voted for the people of Biafra to now have their seat right there in United Nations. United Nations. I'm giving prophecy, but sometimes when you give prophecy, many people are not in support because they think you are the one doing it. This is not the work of major prophet. This is not the work of anybody. This was called the work of God, and God is the one showing the major prophet of God the things to see and things to say. Because when I started giving you this prophecy, you thought it was a joke. And I begin to tell you things that are going to forward from one place to another, from one person to another, from one person to another. And the Lord will begin to take the major prophet of God, and has gotten to the time the major prophet of God finally storms Finland. Brakatoshi Tabrahadisho. Brakatoshi Tabrahasisho. Rapakatoso Fredila Caponto. Is this what's called against anybody? Or is this what's called the freedom of the people? And the Lord said, this is what's called the freedom of the people. This is not against anybody. This was called the freedom of the people, for the people have cried enough, and the time has come that people said they are going to be the government of the people, by the people, for the people, and the people, and the people alone. Which means if I want to drink water, the water will be legitimate. I will drink the water. That means if I merit to be earning 20,000 and the 20,000 I'm earning is legitimate, I will earn it without fear. Which means if I go to the market and I buy something today in the place where the freedom is given, and I buy something at the rate of 30 naira today, and I go and sleep and come back in a week time, I will still meet it at 30 naira. And I go again and traveled for 1 month, and I come back again, I still meet it at the same 30 naira. I go here and there, I come back and meet things the way they are, which means coming back to originality. Coming back to originality. Because this part of the world that we are is a place where we need to be very strong. We are in a part of the world where we should be the ones to feed the whole world. We should be the one to feed the nations of the world. We should be the one to take care of the countries of the world. But our strength has been limited, has been shattered, has been weakened, has been truncated and frustrated and made to be bucketed and benched right there and corrupted and destroyed, that we should not have the strength that we ought to have. But it has come to pass that this day God has finally revealed to major prophet of God, as major prophet of God storms Finland to see things myself in the realm of the spirit. And the Lord said, this is what's called, people go to the market today, they buy a phone at 20 naira, they go back tomorrow, and the stability of economy. This was called stability of economy. This was called stability of everything. This was called stability. This was called perfect security. This was called development. This was called matching to the world powers and taking over. and the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. And this was called the development of different kinds of technology and different kinds of scientific understanding and different kinds of myths and different kinds of medical discovery and different kinds of what's called scientific discovery to go to the moon and also go to the soil. And I'm seeing in the realm of physical, I'm seeing in less than 3 years, and I'm seeing what's called the state of Biafra now launch what's called the satellite that gives the people free data everywhere, every street. And I see what's called bloggers, and this was called Facebookers, and this was called people on social media. This was called people that use data, and people come out as you enter into the road, free data everywhere. People can use data in their houses. This was called everywhere completely developed, and things are flowing the way it ought to flow. And I see what's called the white themselves coming in to now look for job, where you can now give them jobs, and you can tell them to be, help you keep their compound, help you do this, help you do that. And I'm sure what's called the citizens being paid money, citizens being paid money, and people who are working paid money, elderly people taken care of, younger people are paid money and taken care of. This was called free education. This was called good governance, and this was called everybody participatory citizens of everything that is going to unfold. Because major prophet of God, many people will never ever believe the prophecy until they see with their eye. And this is why, by the grace of God, all of this while, God will always tell the major prophet of God things to prophesy and the way they are. A major prophet of God, by the grace of God, I will step out here and prophesy them the way they are, without adding salt or adding water or adding oil or adding artificial, making it to be raw and real the way they are, without fear or favor, without anything, but making it raw so that people who need to see will see. Because it shall come to pass, and there will be what's called government versus government negotiation and agreement, and things can now be done based on power. A lot of people are going to take their destiny into their hands. And the people of Biafra should not begin to rejoice that they are the only one who has done the unthinkable, who has surprised the nations of the world, who has made the world to be surprised at what they are up to. Because as they are busy, I'm sure that the people of Woto at the same time doing their own and also imagine also. And I see the people of Ariwa also doing their own and they imagine right there. And the world begin to wonder what's going on here. What's happening all over the place? Major prophet of God is to look at the spiritual world and prophesy things the way they are. And you begin to pencil it down. Because when you pencil it down, you will now be able to know that when they begin to fulfill, you know that God has already seen it all. And that's why when I begin to sing the song, I say, the Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. The Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. The Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. Nothing remaineth. Nothing remaineth. I said nothing remaineth. Nothing remaineth. The Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. The Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. The Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. whatever we have ever heard in terms of discussions before. Discussions on the media, discussions on the TV, discussions on the radio, discussion on different areas of media. Social media will be on fire. Because you're going to see what's called people, billionaires that you never believe that they exist on the face of the earth are going to declare. Billionaires are going to step out and they're going to declare. Great people are going to step out and they're going to declare. And the major prophet called, my own duty is to see in the realm of the spirit and prophesy them in the realm of the physical. That's all. I come in peace. And I advocate peace. And I'm a peace ambassador and a peace advocate to make sure that peace is preached all over the world. Ihe buche chukwu ka ọ ga-eme, ihe buche chukwu ka ọ ga-eme, ihe buche chukwu ka ọ ga-eme, ihe bụ obi chukwu ka ọ ga-eme, ihe buche 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 chukwu ka ọ ga-eme.
Alright, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back updates and information as to the hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first we'll collect them. Let's go down to the news proper as it the hot. It don't shell it for the obodo as the information will be say it the drop for my table. It the kata for the land of the indigenous people of Biafra as it is right now. There is currently fire on the mountain in Imo State. Currently fire on the mountain in Okigwe in Biafraland. Something unexpected is actually happening there as we are receiving information from the Nigerian army wing that they have actually abducted the commander of the Biafra Liberation Army Forces, Commander Gentle the Yahoo. But according to right source, another source, Angel Makeup was trying to say the other day that whatever the NIG army is releasing is actually false. But meanwhile, let's go down to this particular information that was released from the Nigeria Army desk. The Nigeria Army arrests Commander Gentle the Yahoo. The Nigerian Army has recorded multiple success across different states in the past 24 hours, including the arrest of the commander of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ifeanyi Eze Okorinta, popularly known as Gentle the Yahoo. According to a military source at Army headquarters who spoke with the news on Tuesday, the suspect was captured by troops of the 34th Artillery Brigade in a joint operation with sister security agencies at his hideout in Ako, Ihube, Okigwe local government area of Imo State. The operation led to the recovery of one English pistol, 120 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, 25 rounds of 7.62 NATO, one cartridge, 6 mobile phone, military and police uniform, and a German flag. Troops also uncovered a workshop where stolen vehicles were dismantled for resale. In addition to destroying 10 motorcycles found at the scene, the source was quoted as saying, also, troops killed 3 men and rescued 11 kidnapped victims in separate operations in Benue, Katsina, Kogi, and Adamawa states. Rescue operation included 5 hostages in Magadali, local government, Adamawa state, 5 in Kushashika, ward of Malumfashi, local government in Katsina state, and 2 in Lokoja, local government of Kogi state. The source was further quoted as saying, also troops recorded notable operations breakthrough in Katsina state, neutralizing 2 terrorists in separate encounters and recovered AK-47 rifle ammunition and a motorcycle, while in Benue State, troops neutralized one violent extremist seizing a mobile phone and assorted charms. In addition, 11 suspects were arrested in different locations across Benue, Kogi, Kaduna State for armed robbery, gun running, and violent extremist activities. Troops of the Nigerian Army also recovered 4 rusted castles in Plateau State, which were returned to their rightful owners. All right, this is what is currently happening, and this news is coming right from the desk of the NIG military. But the issue is that we are yet to see a video that actually confirms this particular information that has been released by the NIG military, because we are thinking that as they are releasing this information, they should have released a video where Gento the Yahoo was captured. Of course, the issue is, do they know who is Gento Yahoo? Do they know his face? Can they recognize him? Makana ade nwude kuno jukunaka and ade nwude agonaka. Another information, news has also reported that about 12 IPOB members were arrested. 12 IPOB members were arrested in a troop operation. I think the NIG them boys, the Asari and Asari Dokubo and Musa boys are actually angry this time, and their target is targeted specifically at the indigenous people of Biafra. This particular news says troop arrest IPOB commander, rescue 12 kidnapped victims. Looking at these are comparison of the news that are being coordinated and given out by the NIG army troops as regards the arrest of Gento Yahoo. But meanwhile, let's go down to this one. Says the Nigerian army troops have apprehended a notorious IPOB ESN commander, rescued 12 kidnapped victims, neutralized terrorists in a series of coordinated operations across multiple theaters within the last 24 hours. A credible source at Army headquarters told the news agency on Tuesday that the operation were conducted in synergy with sister services and other security agencies. According to the source, troops of the 34th Artillery Brigade in a joint operation apprehended a notorious IPOB ESN kingpin at his hideout in Ako Ihube or Kigwe local government area in Imo State. He said the operation led to the recovery of one English pistol, 120 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, 25 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO, one cartridge with 6 mobile phone, military and police uniform, and a German flag. The source added that troops also uncovered a workshop where stolen vehicles are being resold. On anti-kidnap operation, he said that 5 kidnapped persons were rescued also. All right, these are different reports that are coming as regards this particular arrest that concerns Commander Gento the Yahoo. I think this is not the first time. This is not actually the first time Gento the Yahoo is facing this kind of what I should call as a rumor, because there was a time it was rumored that he is dead. Yes, there was a time it was rumored that he was dead. All of you know about this time that this rumor went viral that Commander Gento the Yahoo was dead, that he has been buried, and the rest of them. But at the end of everything, he still surfaced and told everybody, told the public, told Biafrans that nothing happened to him. And I could remember some time ago, either earlier last month, August, he was also poisoned. And after that poison, he gave a voice note of which, after everything, he survived the poison. And now, the one that is trending now is his arrest by the 34th Artillery Brigade army members. And that's what is currently trending now, And according to it, we have not yet seen a video. It is a video that will confirm if actually what these people are saying is true. But meanwhile, in Anambra State, the family of Akwokoko, the celebrity native doctor and the popular native doctor, has begged the governor of Chukwuma Charles Soludo through the human rights to tamper justice with mercy. They say, please tamper justice with mercy, for to err is human and to forgive is divine. Akwokoko's family begs Governor Soludo. All right, as it is, Governor Soludo is still holding Akwokoko captive, even Eke Heat and Onyeze Jesus. But I think there is kepu that someone like Eke Heat has been released, but people like Akwokoko and Onyeze Jesus have not been released. According to them, they say that Onyeze is using Bible to scam people, that he is not standing in one place. And the case of Akwokoko is that he is doing okite. All right, but looking at it from the right sense of the matter, does the government have a right to detain a traditionalist? Because we have right to religion, right to speech, and the rest of them. Is he not exercising his right? Let's not judge with prejudice. If we should bring about the right judgment, I think Akwokoko should be set free. But let's go down to that information. The family and kinsmen of popular native doctor Chidozie Nwangu, widely known as Akwokoko Tiwarake, have appealed to Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo to grant him pardon and clemency following his continued detention in a 2-page petition signed by leaders of Ezenku Ora Eligboka kindred in Umumpama, Aboji Village, Oba, Idemili South Local Government Area. The community begged the governor to tamper justice with mercy. The petition was endorsed by Chinedu Okeme, Chairman, Augustine Okwanalum, Secretary, Nzedozie Nweke, former President, Aboji Village, and Ogbueshi Vincent Ejiofor, Elder. According to them, the absence of Nwangu has left many in the community distressed, especially those who depended on him as a breadwinner. They noted that beyond his family, numerous people had benefited from his generosity, which included scholarship for indigent students, support for widows and widowers, and contribution to community development projects like road rehabilitations. In the petition titled Special and Humble Appeal for Pardon and Clemency, the Kingsmen acknowledged that the case was already before a competent court, but stressed that the governor had the constitutional power to pardon him. They pointed out that such act of mercy had been exercised in the past under mitigating circumstances. The community leaders assured Governor Soludo that Nwangu had learned his lessons, particularly regarding the use of social media to promote his profession, which they admitted was inappropriate. They expressed confidence that the governor would consider their plea, emphasizing that clemency would not only aid Nwangu's rehabilitation, but also promote peace and social cohesion within the community. All right, this is coming from Oba. The people of Oba are appealing to the governor of Anambra State to tamper justice with mercy in order, to release Chigozie Nwangu, popularly known as Akwokoko Tiwarake. All right, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain. Remember that you can still support our channel by giving us a YouTube super thanks. A YouTube super thanks will go a long way in promoting this channel. And if this is your first time of joining us, wherever you are listening to us from, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever we are dropping our news, you will be the first to take it. Thank you for listening. God bless you immensely.